What up, guys? It's been a while since I made a video, and honestly, part of the reason is because I felt there was already so much content out there about GPU gains and PC parts and charts here and chart there, which it's kind of, for me, it's the same thing every year. But I don't know. After a while, it feels like same thing over and over. Same launches, AMD versus Nvidia debates, same price talks, just kind of like a rinse and repeat. So to be honest, I was kind of worn out of, there's plenty channels out there that they have the time to put, benchmarks of like 20 plus games and, talk about it, of whatever new hardware comes in. But this time, I don't know. It's just, I actually has something that I wanted to talk about. So here's my situation. So if you guys seen previously, some of the videos that I put out. So I already have, 9070 XT, Red Devil limited edition. The box is still there. I was coming from a 7900 XTX, and prior to that, I had a 7900 XT. That's when I switched from my RTX 3070 Ti to Team Red with the 7900 XT, which it was also a Red Devil. So, the 9070 has been good to me. I don't have no complaints about that card. It performs awesome. I like the looks, no complaints. Honestly, it was perfect. But I started watching a lot of videos and reading about the RTX 5080 and comparing with other cars. But the prices would, it was not. I don't know. It was, for me, it was too much. Paying $1,400 for a car, to me, it was kind of like, the MSRP was what, $1,000 when it came out. So me looking at some websites, I came across the Micro Center. They had the PNY RTX 5080 for $1,230, but with it had a rebate, if you rebate if you use their card. So the card was $1,165, so between $1,400 to $1,165, it's a pretty good chunk of money. But still not MSRP. You'd be lucky if you find one MSRP. That those are long gone. And then considering that I think I paid when the launch of the 9070 XT, I paid $150 for that Red Devil limited edition, which it's too high, in my opinion. When that day, you had actually, I think it was a Sapphire Pulse and MSRP, but I didn't like the the looks of it. So I was thinking, okay, should I jump or should I wait, or So anyway, this is how I end up. Basically now I got both cars, as you see. So I decided to pull the trigger and bought it. Now it's not that I made the decision because of the reason that the 9070 XT is some weak car, because that's not the case. The 9070 XT is a beast of a car. It was not that I was coming from an older generation. This would have been, if that was the case, it would have been easy choice. Probably if I will still had the 7900 XTX, I won't even think about it that much, because to be honest, from the time that a year ago when I bought the 97 XT, I was this debate is always been in my, should I buy the 5080? Should I, but at that time you couldn't find a 5080 where I'm at. It was very hard to get them anyway. So The main reason why I decided, yes, the 5080 is a better card overall. It's a better GPU. Give you a little bit more headroom, so the free features, ray tracing, maybe going to a little bit of a higher end card. But one thing was, that the price was $1165, plus you came with a free game. So I'm like, okay, that kind of upset. And one thing that I'm gonna be honest with you, even though some people hate it, but I like Nvidia broadcast. I like, not, be able to remove the backgrounds of some videos without, not having to put a filter on OBS or having my, big green screen on the back, and the enhancement for the mics and the sound is pretty good. So when I moved to the red team, that was kind of one of the things that I was like, man, I missed, that software. And that was one of the main reasons that I did it. Other thing is I was thinking, well, if I get the the 5080, I can sell that 9070 XT probably in Java and recoup some of the money that I spent, which it's not that. I probably get pretty close to what I spend, or I can probably just maybe keep it and pass it to one of my kids. But they all had AMD, so 7900 XT, 7800 XT, 7700 XT, so they're good. The only majority of the games that they play is Roblox and Valorant, things like that. So they good with that. There's no reason for them to go ahead and upgrade anytime soon. And once I started thinking, that way, I was like, well, the purchase of the 5080 make a little bit more sense to me. I know it's not a crazy, massive jump. Coming from the 9070, maybe what, 14-17% more, maybe, no, I don't know, 20%. So it wasn't an easy way of like for me to try to justify in terms of performance, because there's not not that much of a gap in between, and if I had the probably $4,000 available, so I probably would have find a 1590, but just right there, to me, I'm not gonna be using it. It's like buying in a sport car and you just drive it around your neighborhood. It just don't make any sense. So that was my thought process. Another thing that I was when I decided to pull the trigger and buy it was the current market situation. Right now, Asus is talking about raising prices between 20 to 30%. So probably not longer after that, you will see every single brand that is out there raising the prices too. So right now they are high. Just imagine now with the tariffs and the economy how it is, it's probably gonna get more expensive. And what, the next generation doesn't release probably at the end of 2026, or most likely 2027, with all the issue with the AI and taking all the majority of the memories. So I was like, what, screw it, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it, and later on I decide if I'm gonna sell it and recoup some money, or just keep it. But if I'm not gonna use it, it's just money's just sitting there. So better off, probably most likely I'm gonna offset the cost and just put that car in Java or eBay, or see if I can, how much money I can get, because there's no way that I'm taking it back to Micro Center, because they're not even offering me for the their trading, not even $350 for the car. And if you can see, I got everything that came with it, the little GPU enter key that goes on the keyboard, the plastic, everything that came with it is there. Even the sticker, and the sticker that comes with it, they never used it. And the car basically still like brand new, no issues whatsoever. Everything is working fine. So most likely I'm probably gonna sell and try to recoup the money, but no way I'm gonna trade it to Newegg or Micro Center, because I would be just like losing money. But at the end of the day, it's what you can afford, and the truth is in the eye of the beholder. So if you are happy with what you got, and you look the way that your games and your graphics look, and if you're happy with it, that's all what matters. Do what you can afford, and if you are happy with the performance of your car, that's what also matters. If you're gonna go ahead and worry about what everybody say about, no, this generation got this more uplift, or this is so good or whatsoever, you basically gonna be just doing the same thing that happened to me every year. Probably changing, every couple months, changing your hardware for the the newest and latest. Damn, even the PlayStation 5 Pro, just but the price change is like now like $900. So everything is going up, and if what you got, DPU, you play the games that you like, and you're happy with it, there's no reason to upgrade. Don't be like dummy me that I should have just, knowing that I wanted go back to Nvidia last year. I should just waited and just right off the back buy if 5080 when it came out, and I would not be a year later changing to the from the 9070 XT to this car. But like I say, nothing but good experience with the 9070. It was it's a terrific car. It's just it for me became an issue with features, the upcoming price increases, the issue with the with PC parts in the economy. So might as well go ahead and buy it for $1,165. You say it's a PNY car, not like this one Asus or MSI, but it does the job. It performs well. It's a good car. It doesn't overheat in my system, which is crazy, because I thought that this car was going to be hotter than the 9070 XT, but for some reason it's about the same. It's quieter, I can tell you that. But that's about it for this video. Like I said, this was my issue. This is the reason why I changed to green team. I decided to basically buy this car, and like I said, I still trying to find out what I'm gonna do with the 9070 XT. Most likely I'd be what you guys think? Should I sell it? Should I keep it? Other than that, that's all I got. If you enjoyed the video and anything that let's see what upcoming products that are coming out, and see if get buy them and review on for you guys. So hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.